Right. Welcome back. We're now on our third Hebrew class, and in this series of videos, in this class, we are studying Job chapter 1 verse 21, and we've already learnt it in Hebrew. That's right. Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach. Now, I want to ask you some questions and make you think a little bit about what we're learning. And so the first thing I want to ask you, are there any words that maybe you recognize in the Hebrew, that you recognize from the English? I don't know if there's a word in there that you think, oh, I've heard that before, maybe a name. If you thought Natan, you're right. It's the name Nathan, the prophet Nathan, who we find in the Bible, who spoke to David. And Nathan, what do you think it could mean? The name means gift from God. And so in this context, what could it mean? That's right, he gave. Do you remember? The Lord gave. So Natan, what does it mean? He gave. Now I want to ask you a few questions. Can I say Natan, the door? Yes, but it's a little bit strange, right? I could say maybe, or I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm asking you these questions to make you think a little bit about what these words mean. Some of them you may not have the context like we do with Nathan or Natan, but I'm going to ask you another question. Can I say Natan, the cup? Yes, I can. It's easy. Any object, I can give it. So I can say Natan and then that object. Now I'm going to ask you another question, and maybe make you think a little bit more about that. Remember, at the end of this phrase, we had that he takes away. The Lord takes away, or has taken away. In the Hebrew, what word do you think that could mean, or could be? Do you remember? Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach. Lakach. So with this word, I'm going to ask you some questions. Can I say Lakach, the cup? Yeah, I can take away a cup, right? Can I say Lakach, the house? I suppose you could take a house away, but it's not a very simple or easy phrase to use. Or Lakach, the window. Now, I want you to think about some of those words and think about what you could put them with. Natan, Lakach. What words could you connect them with? What words could you use them with? Now, in this context, what word are we using to connect these verbs that we've found in the Hebrew? Adonai. That's right, Adonai. Now, what do you think Adonai could mean? If you think about the English and you said the Lord, that's right, it means the Lord. Now there's something very interesting about this word, and I like to just mention it to you now because as we go along, you're going to notice this more and more. The word Adonai in Hebrew is literally the word that just means sir or master. Why do we say that then for the Lord? Because the name of the Lord we cannot use. Remember that the Hebrews, the Israelites, were forbidden from saying the name of the Lord, which are the consonants Yod, He, Vav, He, which we're going to learn in the future in another context. But in this moment, we just need to know that. And so when we get to that word, instead of saying or trying to say the name of the Lord, we simply put Adonai right there. So whenever we come across these words, these letters, instead of trying to say the name of the Lord, his sacred name, what we're going to say is Adonai. And so yes, that means the Lord. In this context, we're saying the Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach. Now there's another little word in there that's very subtle that I want you to think about. What is the difference between the first Adonai that we said and the second Adonai? I'm going to repeat it for you so you can have a little think. Adonai Natan v'Adonai Lakach. What's the difference between the first Adonai and the second Adonai? If you said v, that's correct. V'Adonai. Now what could v mean? It's connecting two parts of the phrase. In English we said the Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. And so yes, if you said and, that's correct. V means and. And we're going to find out that it means that in most of the cases in Hebrew. It's a connecting consonant, a connecting word that connects phrases in Hebrew. And Hebrew phrases are often very long and have a lot of these connecting words in them. And so it's going to be something that we're going to learn a lot. And actually, learning that word, you've learned one of the most common words in the whole of the Hebrew Bible. So that concludes our first class. I hope that you found it easy, practical, and fun. Continue with me on to class 2. In the second class, we're going to learn Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So I'll see you there.